Hello tribe. How are you doing? My name is Benihin Walubengo. This is the fourth episode. Once again, I'm so happy. Kindly share with me where you're joining me from, so that you can be able to, know where you are in terms of location. Just a minute. Let me put my mic on. Yes. So kindly tell me where you're joining me from. I would like to know from which part of the country are you joining us from. Kindly share with us which part of the country are you joining us from. Which part of the country? Thank you so much. I'm seeing guys are joining on YouTube and Facebook. Keep sharing. Today we'll be talking about Killers of First Impression, episode 4. We're talking about physical impression. The last class was so interesting. We talked about virtual impression. Thank you so much, Marlene, saying joining from Thika and so thirsty to learn tonight. Thank you so much. Zila Precious saying watching from Nakuru. Thank you so much. Keep joining, keep sharing. Share the link as much as you can. Watching from Kikuyu, Christine Kavindu. Oh, thank you so much, Kavindu. How is everything? How is Chuka? Blessings. Thank you so much. Kushkushi is joining from Thika. Thank you so much. Tell us where you're joining us from. Engage us in the comment section. We are so happy. Thank you so much, Mr. Bikari, joining me from Juja, ready to learn. Thank you so much. Tell me where you're joining me from. Even as you share the link in your WhatsApp groups, you share with your friends, with your family. Congrats, been here at least today on time. Thank you, Sylvia. She's saying she's tuned in from Buruburu. Thank you so much. We'll always keep on improving every single day, and all thanks to our media teams that are doing a good job. Thank you so much. Please tell me where you're joining me from. I'm seeing you're 21 people. I'm sure we can increase in number. I'm seeing we're increasing in number. The team from iSpeak, share these links as much as you can on our WhatsApp groups. Thank you so much, Anthony Kamau from Mombasa. Thank you so much, Director Keith Nyamai. How are you, Keith? As we are supposed to have a meeting from Ruiru. Thank you, bro. Kelvin Kim is saying watching from Kiambu. Thank you so much, man. It's such a pleasure. Thank you so much. Please confirm to me if you can hear me clearly. Confirm to me if you can get us clearly. And even as you tell us where you're joining us from. Thank you so much. Keep sharing as much as you can. I'm seeing now we are 30 people tuned in. I'm sure we can increase in number, especially for our Facebook community. Share it directly. It will go on your feed. If you're on YouTube, please tell me where you're joining me from. Thank you so much, the YouTube family. You guys are increasing. You're increasing. Keep on increasing. I thank God because of what He's doing amongst us. Maybe I'll just give some feedback and testimonials. I saw a young man texted me. He met PLO Lumumba last week, and he told me that he applied some of the skills. And I'll request you for the next classes, you'll be recording 1-minute videos that will be playing before you begin the class. So in case you have feedback, maybe you got a job. I also got some feedback from one of us who was here. He does business. He told me he applied the skills and he's getting so many clients. Thank you so much, guys. Hesh Papetras is saying, hey bro, thank you so much. Tuned in from Kasarani, Crystal, thank you. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Minister Nyakundi. Sauti Kofiti Orator, thank you. Zilla Productions, thank you so much. Inzole Bradley, wow. We'll also be having a sign language interpreter in our next classes. Inzole Bradley doing an amazing job. Keep on sharing the link as much as you can. I'm seeing you increasing on number. For the Facebook family, I challenge that all 17 of you, if you share, that means we'll be getting to 40 in only a few minutes. I'm sure we can do this. Let's keep on sharing. Tuned in from Meru, thank you so much. Thank you. Finally tuned in watching from Kasarani. Thank you, Crystal. You're not too late. Also, you can share with your friends. You're not too late. You're actually on time. We have 5 more minutes. to share with our friends and make sure that they have gotten the link, so that when we begin, you're all in sync. Tukifika watu 40, I'll be good to go. And we can begin with a word of prayer, and then we can roll it out. So thank you so much. Keep sharing. I'm seeing the YouTube community. On my side, it's hung. I don't know. Don Carlos, thank you so much. Tuning in from Kasa, thank you so much, sir. Tuning in from Muranga. Mazebo's baby has been so consistent. One of my friends called Roda, anajita tu boss baby Facebook, lakini anaitwa Roda kwa kusema ukweli. Thank you so much, Kamala. Wow, allow me to pray, and then we can begin the session, so that we also save time, because we're here only for 1 hour. Father, I thank you. We honor you, Lord. Pray that, Lord, give us wisdom, give us your presence. Even as you're about to teach, pray that, Lord, may people be empowered. May their communication, Lord, open for them doors. And I thank you, Lord, for gathering your people. The Bible says you don't gather your people in vain. So let this be a night where people shall be inspired. Let this be a night where people shall be transformed. Let it be a night where people shall be empowered. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you so much. Enough of the feedback. Allow me now to get straight to the point as to why we are here. Keep sharing the link as much as you can. Share it viral. Share it in your WhatsApp groups. Invite your friends. You never know who can be impacted because of what you're doing. So let's do our best. I want to first say thank you to everyone who has joined me this evening. We don't take it for granted. The fact that you've created time so that we can be able to have this session, to me, it's such an honor and it shows a lot. Now, for the past few weeks, we've been doing episodes in terms of communication. This is episode 4. We did on, killers of first impression. The reason as to why I decided to do this episode, it's because I realized there are many young people who lose opportunities because of the first impression. And one of the things I came to discover, it's not their fault. There are many young people who have not studied communication, people who have not studied soft skills, people who have not studied PR. And so it's not our fault because part of the 844 system does not cover anything to do with communication. And this does not just affect young people, it affects everyone in different cadres. It affects everyone in different fields where they're supposed to communicate. And one of the things that you have to understand as a young person or an old person, wherever you are, whichever age bracket, any place in life you'll be required to communicate. Not only will you communicate as an orator, whether you're a photographer, you'll need to get business as a photographer. Whether you're a graphic designer, you'll need to pitch. Whether you're a student leader, you'll need to communicate to people. Whether you're a pastor, you'll need to speak to people. Every single time. There's someone who said a very powerful quote. He said, there are 3 times in your lifetime, no matter how much you avoid, you'll be required to speak. And so every single time that you're required to speak, know that you're creating an impression. Impressions really, really matter. It's impressions that last longer than the words that we said. And so therefore, that is why we are taking this time to build massive capacity. Last time we did virtual impression. How can you make an impression through your social media, through your virtual impression? And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome once again. And I tell you, this is the most interesting session. This is the most interesting class. You've not wasted your time. And if you know that you're a young person meant for greatness, you're in the right place. You're training yourself. Remember, before Joseph met Potiphar, there's a season of training that he had to pass through. Before Esther met the king, she had 6 months to train. Before Moses also went to encounter Pharaoh, there's a season for 40 years. He was at Jethro's place. So that means that before the season of manifestation comes, there's a season where we build massive capacity. And we never stop building capacity. Even at a personal level, as your teacher, I'm still reading. Before we went live, I was still building capacity. So you don't stop building capacity. No matter who you are, no matter what you do, capacity is equally as important as possible. And so let's keep on sharing the link. I'm seeing guys are joining right now. So far I'm seeing 45 people. That's a good number. We are a fair class. Now today I want to start talking about physical impression. And I told you that when it comes to impression, it keeps on varying. And in terms of physical impression, this means that you've now met someone physically. You can actually see them, you can feel them, and you can be able to actually, you can be able to perceive and actually introspect as it is happening in the moment. And therefore, today as we're talking about first impression, there are key things that you need to notice. There's a book I'm working on, it's called 360 Seconds of Destiny. And in this book, the last chapter, I've divided into 6 portions how people communicate in a physical way, the physical language. But before that, I want to lay a background matter. As you know, anytime we come here, it is content. So get your pen, get your notebook, and get ready to write and learn, because things are about to get down. We are about to get serious. Now, according to neuroscience, because we normally prepare before we come here, and therefore I have done effectively my research so that I can give you guys the best, because when guys turn up, you give them the best. So we'll be doing some notes here. First thing I want to teach you is about neuroscience and how neuroscience connects to communication. What is neuroscience? It's the ability in terms of how the human brain works and interprets information. And in neuroscience, there are 3 levels where now the mind is involved when it comes to how people perceive things. Kumbuka, first impression is how people perceive things. So you don't choose how people will perceive. It's them who decide how they'll perceive. You might want people to feel that you're strong. Instead, they might feel you're rude. You might want people to feel that you're humble. Instead, they might feel you're a hypocrite. So it's up to them to perceive. That's why it's important to study how does the human brain reason. So the first thing we need to study, we are going to define terms. Developmental neuroscience. Your brain is divided in terms of are neurons, and those neurons are divided into portions. So the first level is called developmental neuroscience. This is a part of the brain that forms things, influences growth, and also influences changes. So forms, grow, and changes. Growth and changes. Those four things. How people, it helps you to form, it helps in formation of the human body parts, it helps in growth, and it also helps in changes. For example, when you are young, you could urinate everywhere. No one would ask you a question. But now as a human being, there are things that you cannot do. That is why anytime people lack certain neurons, this is why they cannot reason and perceive things. So there are children who are sick naturally. You can find a child at the age of 14, at the age of 16, they're urinating on themselves. Some of them, it's not because they want, it's because the part of the brain that needs to mature so they can interpret information and know the right thing to do, maybe that part has a problem. So it's called developmental neuroscience. The second part is called cognitive neuroscience. This is the part that creates, controls thoughts, language, problem solving, and memory. Allow me to repeat, cognitive neuroscience. This is the part, it comes from the word cognition, the ability to interpret, the ability to perceive. This is where creativity is hidden. That is why anytime someone struggles with masturbation, the part that is affected most is cognitive neuroscience. Because this is the part that now carries creativity, it also controls thought patterns, language, problem solving, and memory. And that is why later on in another class, I'll be showing you even how does masturbation affect communication? How does it affect your self-esteem? Why is it that when girls lose their virginity, their self-esteem is affected? Because it's connected to the brain. Why is it that when someone is a murderer and they have been caught murdering someone, they normally shake, they cannot even talk effectively? I'll be showing you how the brain interprets that and then it sends a signal that now communicates through your mouth. Why is it that when someone is lying, they stammer a lot? Such things. Why is it that when people fear and when they stand on stage, they cannot even open their mouths? I'll be showing you that. The second one is called behavioral neuroscience. This is the part that examines the brain areas and processes underlying, how animals behave and act. So behavioral neuroscience, it interprets, there is a part of the brain that determines how animals and human brains act. This is a study. The study of how the brain examines examines how animals and humans act. So this is neuroscience. This is what people study in university. People who want to become neurosurgeons, people who study medicine, they must study neuroscience. So there is neuroscience, there is cognitive neuroscience, and there is behavioral neuroscience. All this is a study of how the brain works systematically and strategically to interpret information. Allow me to repeat for the sake of those who are joining us right now, and also for the sake of those who are writing. Let me go slowly. The first thing I've said, we have developmental neuroscience. It is a study of how the brain forms, grows, and changes. We have cognitive neuroscience, the study of how the brain creates, controls thoughts, language, and memory. Then we have behavioral neuroscience. This is how the study of how the brain examines how animals and humans act. So it's important to know these three levels of neuroscience, because I'll be showing you how people perceive things. When you meet people for the first time, how do they think? Why do they think the way they think? And what influences the way they think? So allow me to repeat. I've said behavioral neuroscience, then you have neuroscience, and then you have cognitive neuroscience. All these three levels. Allow me to start with cognitive neuroscience, then I'll go to developmental, then I'll go to behavioral neuroscience. So anytime you're meeting people, at first, when they see you, there's a picture that comes in their minds. Immediately, there's a picture that comes in their minds. That is why there are people whom when they see people who are when they see people with a tattoo, they might think that you're demonic. Maybe that's not the case. There are people who when they see an old person, there's a way they think. So people have there's always an image about everything and something. So now, the cognitive part of the human brain, it's the one that interprets pictures. And therefore, your brain is again divided into three. There is the emotional part, the logical, and the intrusive part. I think I said this in one of our classes. The emotional part, the intrusive, and the logical. So this is what happens. Many a times, we try to impress people based on logic, in terms of intelligence. For example, you've come there, you're trying to sell an idea, and you're trying to make sense to this person. That sense might not work. Actually, whatever works is the emotional part of connecting with people, mostly. So the first level, you have the intrusive, you have the logical, you have the emotional. So immediately you meet someone, all these three parts actually there. And I want to show you different ways in which you can approach people so that you will start understanding as you're approaching people, what do you do first? Imagine this scenario. You've met someone on an elevator and the first thing you tell them, I want a job. You've not said any other thing. You just said, I want a job. High chances are that this person might not respond, or if they respond, they'll tell you, I cannot give you that job. Reason being why, you cannot predict people's emotions. So therefore, there are killers of first impression that have killed the level of communication. Because maybe whatever you saw at first was logical, was not emotional. So the first place you need to connect with people emotionally. That's the first step. The second step is intrusive. And the third step is logical. Hapa kwa intrusive ndo msee anasemanga instincts. Mimi sisikini kama moyo wangu imeconnect na mtu. You might have the most brilliant ideas, but someone will just say, I can't connect with you. You see, I'm not the best orator. And someone might come live and they might feel they're not connecting with me. No matter how good I'm speaking. And someone else might just sit there, whether I'm speaking sense or not. Because they'll feel like I'm really, really connecting with this person. So actually what matters in life is you have now to master how do you connect with people emotionally first. And in this class today, I'll be dividing it into 6 portions on how you introduce your communication perspective and how you push your agenda physically. That's the first thing I'll be starting with. Are we ready for the class? Maybe before I go, I'll ask you a question. What question do you have regarding physical impression? I would like to answer your questions today, even as I go ahead. So please write something on the comment feedback. What questions do you have regarding first impression? And maybe, have you ever gotten a negative feedback while trying to make a first impression? How was the negative feedback? What made you fear when it comes to first impression? Thank you so much. I'm seeing more than 50 people. Keep on sharing, keep on. Please give me some feedback on the comment section. I would like to understand. Have you ever gotten negative feedback, and maybe how did you handle it as we go? Because today we are having a conversation. This is a class. So a class is meant to be a conversation where you talk and we talk, and then we come into a consensus. So we are having a conversation. So please let us know. Let us know what is happening. Maybe as we go on, you can keep sharing. I'd like to know, have you ever struggled creating a first impression? And what is the major challenge, especially when creating a first impression? I would like to get your questions. Yes, you are prepared, but I love answering questions, because someone said it is out of your next level in life is connected to the questions that you ask. So please feel free to send in your questions. I'll really appreciate getting to answer them so that we can build each other and give each other value as we build more capacity. Thank you. I'd like to get a question. Someone is asking about posture. How are you supposed to address someone while standing just randomly? Okay, thank you, sir. Any other person with another question? Thank you, Stanley Bulemi. Keep on asking your questions. Don't fear. We are here to learn. There is no one who has the monopoly of knowledge. We are here to learn as much as we can. Thank you. I'm seeing guys are joining. Thank you. Maybe I can answer his question as we go on. Feel free to type your questions. I really appreciate. Now, I'll divide these into 6 minutes so that I can explain. I'll come back to neuroscience. So don't forget your notes. We have cognitive, we have neuroscience, we have cognitive neuroscience, we have neuroscience, we have behavioral neuroscience. Now, man, I took time to prepare these notes. I hope you're also writing, because you can see I've prepared. The first level, the first minute, is something called an introduction. Immediately you meet people physically, there's normally an introduction. And when I say an introduction is not about your name. I said in one of our classes, there are things that introduce you before you speak. And one of the things I said, it is image. I told you, ice cream looks so good and it's so sweet. But if ice cream is in a dirty, kama iko kwa mkebe chafu, you will not take that ice cream. No matter how much you're convinced that that ice cream is sweet. And therefore he said, it's not about what is in the inside at times. At times it is what people can see. Because that's what they'll see first. When you're looking at a girl for the first time, someone asks you, why do you want to marry her? You can't say she's righteous, because you don't know whether she's righteous. It will take some time. It will take some processes. And then after that time, you'll say she's righteous. But then there are qualities that are easily visible. Immediately you see someone. And one of the things that you need to master at this early age, because the majority of you know that you're young, is that anytime you meet someone physically, there is always an introduction. And I say that when it comes to an introduction, the first thing that introduces you is your image. The second thing that introduces you is the aspect, something called outlook. That you've not only dressed up, but you're also dressing up according to where you are going. So you're telling this person you want to become a billionaire. Have you dressed up like a billionaire? You're telling this person you want to become a president. Have you dressed up like a president? So there is that aspect where you're not just dressing up for the sake. You're dressing up very, very strategically. You can see here I'm dressed in a sweatshirt, but it carries my brand. It's been written, orator, leader, strategist, author. So it's a casual wear, but it represents my brand. So it's not just a casual wear. There is a message that he's sending. So that in case I meet someone who's seen me in the streets and maybe they have seen me on social media, they'll see how I've dressed and then I'll be like, okay, I expected better. But they'll see that I'm still dressing my brand. So I'm in a casual wear, but he's still sending a message. Now there's always an introduction in terms of how physically you meet people. And now I'll be adding up on some of the things I've said before. The first thing I've always said is your handshake. You always need to have a firm handshake, maintain eye contact, smile within the first 10 seconds, and then also make sure that even your hands are not sweating, that your stability in terms of confidence is very, very strong. In the next few classes, I'll be teaching about differences between confidence, courage, and self-esteem, and I'll be explaining in detail. And therefore, you must ensure that how you introduce yourself physically really matters. Make sure that you're not too close to the person, that there is some distance and some space. And then at the same time, if there is a leader that you're greeting, you can just put your hand slowly this way. It's a sign just to show some level of humility or some level of recognition. This culture of doing this, it came from Greek ancient times. When people used to greet kings and people who are in high places, they used to do this. The reason they are doing this is because this person is so great and this person is so big that you believe that as you're greeting them, one hand is not enough to greet them. You're greeting them with both of your hands, since you cannot greet them this way. So these people now used to do this. That this person is so great that you cannot greet them with one hand. You greet them with two hands. So there is a way in which such simple actions show some level of honor. Of course, there are people who don't treasure that. But there are people who sometimes that simple things communicate. And then also, there's a way in which you smile. You smile in a subtle way. You can either smile like this, but you can smile like this. In a very, very subtle way. It communicates some level of, that you're relaxed and there is no tension and you're actually comfortable in that space. Another thing, there are things that you shouldn't do. For example, sitting like this. It's a sign just to show that it's a sign, okay, it's a level of confidence, but if you know that you need this person, please try and show some level of, you're above me, I need you. So there's a way in which you sit. You sit upright like this, and then not so much upright, but not so much relaxed. You sit upright, and you maintain eye contact. If you feel a place to put your hand, you can put your hands here. So as you put your hands here, learn to express yourself. Don't point a finger to someone. You can put your hands here, but you can also don't sit like this, because it shows that you're really, really tired or you're bored. You just want the meeting to end. But there is a way in which you now need to present yourself. Show that you're comfortable, show that you're enjoying the meeting. And then at the end of the day, this is part of introduction. In terms of the first few minutes you've met this person, there's a way in which you also ought to make sure that you're looking at this person, but then at the same time, you're not staring. Because he's staring and he's looking. You can maintain eye contact without really staring. Meaning you're talking, you're looking here, you're looking here, you're looking at them. You're talking, you're looking here, you're looking at them. It's called triangle. You're looking there, there. You're coming back. You're coming back. So your eyes are going in a triangular manner. You're looking at the person, you're looking here, you're looking here. It's coming back. Not every time, but there's a way in which you need to do it strategically. And they don't feel like you're staring at them. If you met randomly someone in the elevator, this is how you're supposed to introduce yourself. Or this person maybe is a celebrity. You've met them in a restaurant and you're so excited meeting them. There are things you shouldn't do, like screaming. Never try that game. It might not go so well. Don't scream. Maintain your cool, maintain your composure. And one of the things I've always told people, when it comes to meeting people who are extremely great, always compose yourself. Don't show like you're too excited and very desperate. Because at some level, they might feel like you're a hypocrite. Like that's not you. So just be yourself. No matter who it is. Whether it is the president, don't be jumpy. Maintain your cool. Maintain your composure. Always be composed at all times while you're meeting these people. Yes, you're excited, but try as much as you can not to show you are over excitement. Show that you're excited. So it's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much. I've been watching what you're doing. If this person is in a restaurant, wait for them to finish eating. Then go approach them, tell them, excuse me, sir, I'm sorry for interruption. Would you mind if we can talk? Now this is physical impression. You're creating an impression that I understand that I'm invading your space. You didn't expect me. And actually don't feel entitled. And I would like to speak to you. If this person is in their car, don't go and knock the window. Stand some, like 100 centimeters away, and then you can do this or you can do this. They will put the window down. Then in the process, you can now be able to speak to them. Yes. Okay. So in the process, it will be very, very easy for you to be able to communicate with them in the best way possible. So make sure that you watch out for such things, because these are the things that really, really fail people. So the introduction stage is the most important. Another thing, don't mention your idea in the first few seconds. First, speak to them. These people are human beings. And I came to realize everyone doesn't want to feel like they are being used. Everyone wants to feel human. This week, I was speaking to the son of a governor in this country. I guess even he might be joining us here, or maybe he's live. And I met him in Eldoret 1 year ago. And when we met in Eldoret, he just saw me in the streets and was like, Benny, mazi unadu job fiti. Unaweza simama tuongee. So I stood and then we began talking. So the other day we connected back on Instagram, because I'm going there to do a county tour in Uasin Gishu. And as you're talking, I was asking him, how is everything? How is school life? I never first began by pushing the idea. I saw he opened a company. We started talking about his company. We talked about different things. By the time I was pitching the idea, it was 2 minutes towards the end of the call. So the first thing you need to figure out, connect with these people as humans. They're human beings. They're not metals. Yes, I understand you might need something from this person. So physically, when you meet them, you don't ask for a job first. You first have to connect with them from a human perspective. And how do you do that in the introduction stage? By simple things such as giving a compliment in the introduction stage. Excuse me, sir, your suit looks so nice. This person will be like, wow, oh, thank you so much. Then in the process, as they say thank you, tell them, excuse me, would you have a minute or two? And as you do that, it now opens up their mind. So the first 1 minute, assuming you'll have 6 minutes to talk to this person, or 4 minutes or 5 minutes, the first few seconds is the introduction pace. I hope I've sorted you there. Allow me to go to the second stage of still building the first impression. This one is called laying a case study. What is a case study? A case study is you now trying to show, why have I approached you and why you? The single question I've always asked myself Anytime I'm approaching someone, or anytime someone approaches me, I ask myself, why did they approach me? Why me of all the people? I know there are so many orators in this country. This person could have gone to Robert Burale, Pielo Lumumba, Johnston Mokazi. Why are they so much interested with Benny Hinn? So I always ask myself that question. So at this level, you're not trying to convince this person that you're actually the right person. And I've not just approached you because I've seen you. It was actually a plan. You know, it was actually a plan. It's something that I've always wanted. I've always desired. Now at this level, this is when you try and show this person how much you know about them and how much you perceive about them. So one day we went to this room. There was this politician who was running for governor in Nairobi. So there are many student leaders there, and then we're given an opportunity. And as you're given this opportunity to speak to them, as you're given an opportunity to speak to them, to this leader, everyone was coming, saying comrade power, comrade Ria, and then they sit down. So I'm given an opportunity, and then I'm there. I begin speaking. So I say, hi sir, how are you doing? It's a pleasure standing before you. I've seen whatever you're doing. And then after building the introduction stage, I moved to the case study. You know, I was like, in 2007, this is what you said, this is what you wrote. You're speaking somewhere in Dubai, and this is what you said as a quote. I even quote some of the things this guy says from the lessons he learned from his mom. Immediately the guy gets emotional. And I see him whispering something to his PA, and he's like, we need to get this boy in our team. And I discovered everyone else hyped him up, but no one gave him reasons as to why he needs to associate with them. There are people who associate with me as Benny Hinn on social media. I give them that part. I'm like, okay, that's the part you want. Get it. I'll give them information. There are people who associate with me as Benny Hinn, the leader of iSpeak. I give them lessons, I give them access. There are people who associate with me as Benny Hinn, the founder of Double B Consultancy. I give them value, 100%. There are people who associate with me as Benny Hinn, the student at Daystar University. We discuss about homework and assignments. But there are people who associate with me as Hinn. They call me Hinn, the human being. At home, they don't call me Benny Hinn, they call me Hinn. With the people who associate with me as Hinn, I give them myself. So what happens when you lay a case study, someone gives you themselves. What is a case study? Number one, how much have you interacted with what that person does? Number two, what makes you think that that person is actually the right person? So in the level of case study, you will try and show them what you're doing and how what they are doing, how does it meet, why are you looking for them? So if you met the president of Kenya, you have to show him how his values and your values are buying into each other. Because everyone is telling them they want a job because of his position. But you are trying to say, I want to work with you because your values are in tune with my values. So when you do that, people see you as someone who has values, as someone who's not there because of opportunities. People see you as someone who's there because you're supposed to be there, and they actually believe that this is the right person. So you have to show this person, how does your values merge with his values, his or her values. So anytime I meet people who are in power, people who are in authority, or people who can give me any form of access, I don't try and show them why they're supposed to give me the access. No, I go further. It's not about the opportunity, it's about you as a person. So I lay a case study, physical impression, that when you meet, that's why it's proper to always do a research before you meet people. Take your time, do your homework, do your research. Be so good at whatever you're presenting. You might not have the most brilliant ideas, but you're so good in terms of how you're articulating yourself, and you're so sure of whatever you're saying. So these are things that are not taught in school. And these are the places where graduates also end up losing. I was in an interview room with a very senior guy. So, and he asked a question, when was this company launched? Who was the first CEO of this company? Has this company ever had a scandal? Which countries has this company opened offices? How many staff do we have? What are our brand colors? Which year did we have very high profit margins? So at that level, you are in an interview room, but you see people are trying to test you more than just what you can be able to offer from a place of your skills or your techniques. They're actually trying to test, and they're like, now, mister, we understand that you're good, but then in terms of you as a person, why do you feel like you relate so much with what you're doing? So it's very, very prudent of you as a person to make sure that you take your time to also prepare yourself in terms of a case study, that you can lay a case study, because you see, when people go in court, they present evidence. So also in terms of destiny, you present evidence, and you can study that so well with a man like David. So David shows up in the battlefield, then Saul asks him, why should we choose you? You know, why you? He's like, I've killed the bear, I've killed the lion, and all these represents my medals. It represents some of the things that I have conquered as a person. So that one also really, really matters. And then the other third part is something called value. So remember, we began by introduction, where now you're here, you're introducing yourself, and I told you that there are killers that kill people at the level of introduction. Make sure that you've written them down. Then there is another level now, case study. While all these things are happening, the brain is analyzing. That's why you first began by talking about, what is it called? Neuroscience. Because neuroscience now contributes to how people perceive. Sorry for that. It contributes to how people perceive and interpret information. Maybe I can read a few questions even as we go. Someone said, hello, what is too much in terms of dressing and talking? Wow, such a powerful question. What is too much? Too much is you talking. Let me begin first by talking. For example, there are people who, the first encounter, you've said so much about your problems or so much about yourself. That is not wise. Give people enough. Someone said less is more. So less is more simply means that by you saying less words, it has the more impact. For example, I'm saying I'm remaining with 24 minutes to ending this live. I might have more to say, but because of the principle of scarcity, when it gets to 1 hour, I'll leave. Because less is more. So don't talk too much. Don't be very personal in the first encounter. In terms of dressing, there's a way in which you can dress so much, especially now for ladies. You can meet with a lady in a meeting, and it's like she's pushing an agenda. She's exposed her cleavage. She's exposed her thighs extremely. And you see, this is not a date. This is a meeting. You're pushing an agenda for destiny. You're not pushing an agenda for beauty. So let's dress according to context. So don't overdo it. At the same time, you can be too formal for a person who's not too formal. You've gone to meet a music director. If you're a rapper, you're dressed up in an extremely serious suit, double-breast suit with accessory. You might not be able to link up with this person. At the same time, you might be too casual for someone who's too formal. So that's why it's important to study the person. I hope I've answered you, floral art. Someone said, should overdressing be a concern as far as first impression is concerned? Overdressing in what context? If it's in terms of suits and it's a formal meeting, you do it. It's better you overdress than underdress. So it's better you overdo your homework than underdo it. So you do your best. Someone said, how am I supposed to introduce myself when I meet someone I really wanted to meet? I've already said that in the first snippet. The color science aspect remains to be a mystery to me. I would love to hear it once more from you. Thank you. Okay, I'll be touching on it in a few. Someone said, hi Benihin from Mandela. Thank you so much. Mohammed, let me get it from Facebook, some feedback. Okay, let me go on. So, after you've laid your case study, there is a third aspect called value. I'm teaching you this thing because these things you might be given 4 minutes only to say what you're supposed to say. And in these 4 minutes, you need to cover all these things. So, niwe tu upige mahesabu. Ukijiona umejintroduce fiti, na mtu aseme, okay, go ahead. Ukiona me-respond, jua umesha conquer the first part, your introduction. You've said your name, you've requested them, you can speak to them, you've introduced yourself, and in the part of introduction, maybe before you forget, there's something called pinpoints while you're introducing yourself. So for example, me, this is how I introduce myself. I always say, first of all, my name is Walubengo. If I'm meeting someone because of leadership, I'll say, I'm the president of I Speak Society. I'm a student at Daystar University. There's an aspect of credibility that comes with institutions. It shows that you belong somewhere. That is why in the book of 1 Samuel 16, the Bible says that Saul asked David, who is your father? He asked him twice. He asked him when he came to the palace the first time, and also the second time after he had killed Goliath. So there's something called pinpoints. Then the third thing I'll tell you is that I lead an organization called Double B Consultancy. It's my company. When I'm meeting you on business basis, I'll not introduce I speak first. I'll talk about Double B. Then come to student, Daystar University. Then now I speak. When I'm meeting you because I want a scholarship, I'll first introduce myself as a student. So it's something called pinpoints. How you'll introduce yourself to PLO Lumumba is not how you'll introduce yourself to Benny Hinn. It's not how you'll introduce yourself to Nyawira Gashugi. It's not how you'll introduce yourself to Michelle Obama. You have to look at something called origin. Where does this person apply in my life? So if you are a lady interested in leadership, you've met a member of parliament, this is how you'll introduce yourself because you need mentorship. You've met someone from the United Nations, you need an opportunity for training. So you'll introduce yourself differently according to the context. The third category is something called value. Value is the aspect now of, after you've introduced yourself, you've laid a case study, you're now pushing for value. Value will give this person the why. You know, why should I invest in this person? There's always that question of why you, mbona wewe. I know more than 500,000 young people. You see, this may be someone mwenye wanapata so many calls. They get to read so many emails. By God's grace, I worked in a certain company when I was in high school, and the CEO used to read emails only the first 4 sentences. And after they have read the first 4 sentences, Henry can connect the laptop to the charger. It's almost going off. After this CEO has read the first 4 sentences, they could either choose to read the email or not. So I came to discover, anytime you meet people, within the first few minutes, they have decided whether they're going to pay attention to you or not. The first few minutes, they have already decided. So at this level of value, this is where people make a decision. They are like, okay, why you? Out of the 1,000 young people I'm meeting, why you? And if you can answer this aspect of why you, it will give you credit points. This is where now value comes in. How do you package value? This is how you package value. 1, you speak with a strong tone. How do you speak with a strong tone? You speak steadily, slowly, and very sure. Steadily, slowly, and very sure. This is how I do it. Let me do an example. So I met, one day, the daughter of the president takes me to the boardroom to meet guys of UBA Bank, United Bank of Africa. So I'm seated there, and first of all, it's like I'm in a movie because it's not making sense. Just 2 nights ago, you didn't have money for an event. All of a sudden, here you are, seated with CEOs, regional directors, people who have titles and they have accomplished things. So this is how I present value. Tell them, I'm a young person, praised in Lakisama. I've gone to Daystar University. I've won awards in public speaking. But then I'm asking myself, how many young people are like me? And then I ask them, how many young people will meet the daughter of the president? How many young people will meet the CEO of UBA Bank? How many young people will meet the mentors I've met? How many young people will be exposed the way I'm exposed? And then I tell them, right now in Kenya, we have 27 million young people. These 27 million people, if they don't study communication, only 1% is likely to succeed and fulfill their dreams, because every young person needs to express whatever they are doing and who they are. And therefore, if Kenya does not study anything to do with communication, we are standing at a risk of increasing poverty levels by 78%. Now here I'm doing data analysis, what I taught you in the last class. And then I tell them, UBA Bank, right now, in terms of membership amongst young people, stands at 5%. But if you invest in this thing, every event that you guys do with us, you're providing membership for your bank. That is why you need to give us this access. Because we will not only give you membership, but we will create youth brand ambassadors in every campus. As I'm doing all these things, these guys are shaking their heads. Because now, I'm making sense in terms of figures and numbers. So if you're not making sense in terms of figures and numbers, you might not be able to break the ceiling as much. Right now we're on Facebook Live. In the next 3 years to 4 years, I might go and approach one of the biggest media stations, and then I'll tell them, please give me an opportunity to take this show on TV. They'll ask me about value. I'll remember these days when you were 30 people, 40 people, 100 people. I'll tell them I began this show 3 years ago. Right now it has 10,000 people. Say amen to that. And at that time, I'll give them the value. I tell them we have the numbers and not just ordinary young people. These are key young people. They're in strategic positions of influence. That is why we need to push this program on your media station. So what am I doing right now? I'm building value. So now when you put value, it changes the conversation from a place of pity to a place of we should work with you. I have always told myself one thing. I don't want to be given opportunities because of pity. I don't want to be given opportunities because of looks. I don't want to be given opportunities because I have networks, I know so and so. I want to be given opportunities because they are actually adding value. So that is why there are people I don't approach because I can't add value to what they are doing currently. And it's not that I'm looking down on myself. Dave never went for Goliath before he killed the bear and the lion. So you can go to someone today and they might tell you no. Maybe it's a bank, the biggest bank, you have an event. You don't have a proposal, you don't have a website, your organization doesn't have certain things. Even you yourself, there's a deficit that you're lacking. So you lack the opportunity. So do your homework and look at the value point. Does this person really need whatever I'm selling? I have 33,000 followers on YouTube. On Facebook. But not all of them have tuned in. Because out of all my followers, only a few need whatever I'm saying. I have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Not all of them need whatever I'm saying. So that means we cannot settle at the least value that you have. That is why every day you need to build capacity. Because what you have is just a fraction of what you need for destiny. Because come and look at these numbers. If amongst 10,000 people on YouTube, right now 30 people are tuning in. Meaning out of 10,000 people, only 30 need whatever I'm saying. If I have 33,000 followers on Facebook, only 33 have joined. Meaning, I should work more on my value. And that now gives you a statistic that out of the 1,000 people that you meet in this life, maybe only 5 might believe in what you're doing. That is why the probabilities in terms of mathematics of destiny is that you need to begin early. So that you can meet as many people as possible, so that probability can work in your favor. Number 2, you need to pray for God's favor. Because now if you have favor, you don't have to meet 10,000 people. So that is now, I leave it to you. The 4th thing, I call it the peak. So I began with introduction, case study, value, then there is the peak. What is the peak? Now, this is where you are taking your conversation to a higher level. You want to excite this person. People are excited by different things. There are people who are excited by impact. You see, this year we are working towards bringing Sarah Jakes, Vusi Thembekwayo, and Chimamanda. We shall be doing an event for about 15,000 young people. There are people who are excited by the numbers I'll mention. There are people who are excited by the impact. There are people who are excited by the personalities I'll bring. There are people who are excited that this is a young person doing it. People are excited by different things. It's called the peak. P-E-A-C-K. The peak. Jew. P-E-A-K actually, not C. P-E-A-K. The peak. This is the top of the conversation. This is now what will decide whether this person will give you the job, this person will give you the contract. It's called the peak. Sa indo pati ya mwisho. Like, if you are a photographer, this is what will decide whether that person will pay you. Conversations don't break at introduction. They don't break at case study. They don't break at value. They break at the peak. This is why this person will ask you how much. It happens to me a lot. I'll just speak, this person is like, wow, 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 wonderful, glory be to Jesus. And then they're just like, now, how much? Or they ask you, what do you need to make this project? Now this is a place where many people have lost opportunities and relationships on first impression. Because at the level of the peak, this is where you answer hard questions. How much will it cost us? You've already showed this person why you. You've showed them that you've built capacity. You've showed them that you have influence. You've showed them that you're the best person in this country. There is none like you. But now they're like, how much? These are the peak. These are now figures and statistics. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's at this level where people disagree and someone is like, oh, okay, I'll do it later. Now I want to teach you something that's a hack, and I pray that this thing you'll never forget. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Because now this one will sort out every matter. And some of you, this is what will sort out your business. You are a baker, you've been trying to sell your cakes. Anytime you're talking to a client, you mention figures, they're like, okay, let me look for someone else, or I'll get back to you. This is where many people are told, I'll get back to you. Let's talk. You'll call me, send me an email, then no one responds to your email because of the peak. Are you guys ready? Because here I'm about to blow your mind. 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 Blow your mind. Are you guys ready? I just want to see 30 new comments. We are ready. And then I'll do that thing. We're here because of you. Hey, Facebook, you guys are really increasing in number, man. Keep on increasing in number. Thank you so much for joining. You're here at the right time, in the right place for your right destiny. And immediately after here, we're going to pray together so there shall be enough backup. The peak. Ready when you are. Thank you. Sebastian Munyoki, these are great, man. God bless you, sir. Good to see you here. Thank you so much. Now, the peak. This is where people disagree, by the way. Now, I want to teach you how to answer questions intelligently. Anytime you've been given something for the first time, and you might never have another opportunity to get an audience with this person, sacrifice the money. Look at destiny. You can tell this person, I want us to try and see how it will work. For example, you're a photographer, this person asks you, how much? Tell them, sir, I want you to give me an opportunity to come and take the pictures. Normally, so that you don't abuse your value and do it for free, you say, normally I charge 30,000. But because it is you and it's the first opportunity, and I am seeing it will really help my destiny, you just pay 15,000 for hiring the camera. I'll come and do the rest for free. Maybe what you're getting there is 5,000, but how you are saying it will matter. So this day I'm having a conversation with the daughter of the president, and she asked me, I want to train me public speaking. How much will you charge me? And then I tell my co-founder, create a quotation. She creates a quotation. But before I send the quotation, I call a friend who is a friend, ask this guy, how much should I charge? And then this guy tells me, that's the daughter of a president. Don't deal with her transactionally, because it's a relationship. This person can introduce you in places, and she's come because she believes in you. I call Pastor T. Pastor T tells me, Benny, don't put a figure on it. Be wise. So I tell her, I'll not charge you, but this is what I normally charge. Just trying to show this person, I'm not doing this because I don't know my value, but I'm doing this because I know how far we can go with you. But I told her, you can take care of the fixed cost, administration cost like printing cost, buying books, research, and transport cost. The rest, whatever you reward me, I'll appreciate. That shows this person, you're not here for transactional basis, you're here for relational basis. Never have a transactional conversation. People will give you what is in their pocket, not what is in their heart. But if you want people to give you what is in their heart, you have to be relational, not transactional. So, it is at the level of the peak, this is where people lose. Someone tells you, how much shall we need for this project? You're like, sir, we had budgeted for 1 million. But because you're here and you believe in us, whatever you'll give us, we shall appreciate. It's at the level of the peak. This is where people feel like, okay, and physically. And when you're saying these, use a very strong tone. Don't speak so fast. And let it sound very genuine. Let it come from your heart. Shouldn't be a transactional conversation. It should be very relational. The fifth thing is something called collaboration. I'm finishing. I'm remaining with 6 minutes. Collaboration. Your conversation should be very collaborative. That you're telling this person, try to show them how you're bringing collaboration into the picture. That by them supporting you or believing in what you're doing, it's actually a sign of collaboration. It's not one side that is winning. So you're there, like for example, the job that I do, I'm a speech trainer. So every day, I must make sense to anyone and everyone why they need to study public speaking. And I must not show them how I'm gaining their money. I want to show them how it will help them in terms of destiny. So I'm there and I'm trying to tell them, you see, you're there, you're an accountant. I'll help you in terms of creating your slides and how you can communicate so fast and account for the company. You are a lawyer. I want to show you how, as you're speaking to a client, they are seeing why they need to partner with your law firm. So I'm telling this person, this will increase your clientele, this will increase your visibility, it will increase your influence, it will give you access in rare places, it will tell you what to say and how to say it. So collaboration is the way you're showing the person how they need you and how you need them. And you're telling them in turn, this will also help me to grow and to learn from you. Anytime I approach someone in business and partnership, I don't talk like I'm helping them. I also talk in a language of you're helping me. Because there's something in every human being that gets fulfilled when they know that they're helping you. Everyone wants to see you at the top. So when they see you at the top, there's a way they feel good, that they were part of your journey. One day I'll speak in America, I'll speak in South Africa, I'll speak in Canada. When that day reaches and you're watching on your TV and you see me on TV, you'll feel like crying. You'll not feel like crying because you know me, but you'll feel like crying because you've been part of my journey. You'll remember the days you were on Facebook and you'll be like, I know this guy. I've seen where we came with him. One day, you might become a CEO and you'll call me and you'll be like, Benny, I want you to come and speak. And when you see me walking in the room, you'll get emotional because you'll be like, these are the things this guy taught me. Now I can see them being applied. So the level of collaboration. You're trying to show this person how much your life depends on them and how much their destiny depends on you. At this level now, it's not an argument. You're not talking about money. You're talking about the future. The last one is called high level impression. I have finished today's class. I want to talk about the last point. Then I give you stories and then we pray. Man, you guys have started sending money. Thank you, Solomon. God bless you, sir. You guys are already awarding us. You see now, when you give people value, they also bless you. The last one is high impression. Write these 3 things down. Never leave a meeting without saying a story. Never leave a meeting without saying a quote. And never leave a meeting if that person has forgotten your name. Always remind that person your name. And they have to remember something about you. So in this one, I'll tell you a story. And then I'll tell you a very powerful quote. And then we'll pray. We'll get now to the other side because this thing is spiritual. I'll tell you the story of Mike Tyson. When he was 12 years old, there's a lady called C. Ducato. She picked Mike Tyson from the streets. He was so stubborn that the mother to Mike Tyson threw him in the streets. And so Mike Tyson had started crime. And he was in crime gangs doing all these nasty things. And there's a 50-year-old middle-aged woman who approached him and told him, "You're great." And this woman used to come and tell Mike Tyson every time for 7 years, "You're great, you're great." In his biography, Mike Tyson said he was used to being told nasty things. So this was the only person who had ever told him nice things. And so this really touched him deeply. And that made him change. And this woman paid for Mike Tyson the first amount of money for him to go in a boxing academy. Mike Tyson ended up becoming the second greatest boxer in the world after Muhammad Ali. And he said, I used to sit with this old woman just because she used to tell me nice things. But one of the things you need to master in his life, people are looking for an emotional connection. So as you introduce yourself physically, you've never connected to people emotionally. Every time logic will always make sense. What will make someone call you at 12 a.m. and tell you, young man, I remember the idea that you had. Are you still doing whatever you're doing? There are people who call me after 2 years. I pitched an idea 2 years ago. They never figured out to reach out. But now they're reaching out to me 2 years later and they're like, do you remember that idea? Because I touched a place in their heart. Maybe at that time they didn't have the capacity. Some of you have already started reaching out to us and they're like, Benny, now we want to join the public speaking class. We talked 1 month ago, you didn't join. But when you get the money, that's the first thing that you want to do. Why? Because of the emotional connection. The second story I want to tell you is the story of a beggar. So, there's a man who is seated in the street shouting, someone help me, someone help me, someone help me. And then someone comes and looks, anajaribu kutafuta pesa kwa mfuko wa party. Then he looks at this beggar and tells this beggar, sir, I'm very sorry. I could have helped you, but I don't have. My brother, may you get help. And after saying this, the beggar starts crying. He asks the beggar, why are you crying? Then the beggar says, it's because I have lived in these streets for 15 years. No one has ever called me brother. It's out of the powerful emotional connection that you're able to get people's hearts. People don't follow leaders because they're smart. People follow leaders because leaders give them an emotional output. There's something called safety and rewards. Either that leader is giving a sense of safety and protection. They are speaking from a place of safety. In Britain, when Adolf Hitler attacked them, they needed Winston Churchill to assure them that the military is strong. In 2007, the blacks needed Obama to assure them that they have a place in American history. And by him winning presidency, he'll actually provide a voice of affirmation. Right now, tomorrow there are people who will go for demonstrations, mandamano, because they believe that when Raila goes in the streets, there is a place where they'll get a chance to be represented in the government. There are Christians who feel the President William Samoei Ruto is representing their interest of revival by him being in that seat. Every person has an emotional connection with something. There are people who are your friends because of your future, because they are sure that you'll become great. But there are people who are your friends because you affirm them every day. You give them a reason to live. You give them a reason to have hope. And my question to you is, what are you giving people? What emotional connection are you selling? Summary, what is your password? I'd like to read. Yes. 800. Thank you. I've finished my class for today. Have you learned something? Give us some feedback. Have you learned something? And what have you learned today? What have you learned today? We are finished. Allow me to share some announcements. If you are still interested in joining our class, you're there. You're a young professional. You're a leader in campus. We have a class going on for the next 2 weeks. The class is 25,000 Kenya shillings, 8 sessions virtually, and 1 session physically. And in this session, we will be talking about, public speaking, building capacity. Also, in the 25,000, you get a certificate. Apart from a certificate, you get a chance to work with us. You'll be our ambassador. We are doing this for the first 50 people. So you'll be a trainer. We'll train you to be a trainer of whatever we are doing. I have so many speaking engagements, and at times they are overwhelming, so we can be able to send you and see how you can work with Double B and partner with us. You can be our co-partner. The third advantage of joining this class is that you're also able to get access to our networks, very exclusive networks. We'll give you access to some of our boardroom meetings. You get to sit there, see how we pitch, see how we present our ideas. Number 4, it will help you in building your career, because you'll not just be an ordinary person, because the certificate is heavy. It's been heavily endorsed by very, very high offices, and apart from that, these are very rare skills. Number 5, you'll also get a chance to have extra influence, and therefore I encourage you to join this class. If you're there struggling with confidence, stage fright, this is the right class for you. 25,000 Kenya shillings. You can talk to your dad and mom. The good news is that you can pay in installments of 2. 12,000, 13,000, or 13,000, 12,000, or 10,000, 15,000. You can join the class immediately as you can. There is a number there, down there, but I can read the number. You can reach out to me on 0794 95 9895. 0794 95 9895. Reach out to that number if you'd like to join the class. Some other good news: on 1st July, we are having our first physical event, public speaking. It will be called Art and Speech. This is an event meant to impact people, especially young people, in terms of how we can merge art and public speaking. So if you are there, you are a spoken artist, you are a poet, and you also draw pieces of art, you can come in this event. We shall be training you. The event will be held either at Movenpick or Golden Tulip, one of the hotels we are still brainstorming. We shall be there to train people in public speaking, how you can sell your pieces of art. So if you have a brother or a sister, or you're here and you're in campus, you know a student leader, there are a few campuses that will be sponsored. It will be a corporate breakfast meeting. Very, very great speakers will be coming on board. Abel Mutua, Ben Saiko, Nyawira Gashugi, amongst other great speakers. The tickets will be going for 2,000 Kenya shillings. You can pay as early as you can on the number still 0794959895. You can pay and send us a message that this one is for the event, so that you can book your tickets as early as you can. From next week, we'll start making noise about the event, but you can start paying as early as you can. If you are there and you have access to more than 70 young people who are doing art, maybe they are drawing, or young people who are poets, you can also reach out to our number and you can see how you can do this. Apart from that, I would like to say thank you. Follow us on our social media accounts, subscribe on our YouTube channel, get to see what you're doing. Also send us some feedback. And in case this video has impacted you, record a 1-minute video and share how much it has impacted you, so that you can be having great testimonials that you can be sharing, and you can see how these things are doing to you, so that you can also encourage our team. Apart from that, if you like to support our live streaming, you can send something on our M-Pesa, maybe to cater for the transport of our team, or even pay for this hotel. I'm in Clarion Hotel. We normally hire this room. It's a bit expensive. And also, for the live streaming packages, there are a number of things. So you can support us by sending whatever you will send. We shall appreciate. Our M-Pesa number is 0794959895. Solomon has already sent us something. One of my friends from MKU, God bless you. Send us any form of support. We shall really appreciate. Some of you are millionaires, or a millionaire. Don't feel any fear. Just support us in any way you can. We shall appreciate. Otherwise, may God bless you. I want us to pray. I'm praying that even as you study these things, may God give you favor. May God bless you in the right doors. May you not miss out on any opportunity. You can have the right wisdom, but you can miss out on the right doors. And so my prayer is that may you get the clarity to go for the right doors. I'm praying according to Psalms chapter 18, verse 29. The Bible says, with my God I can scale any wall. And so my prayer is that tonight, with your God, may you scale walls. Some of the things that make people even not conquer gates is not their ability to communicate. There are people who are good at communication, but there is a fear that comes, and that fear now eats your faith. Someone said it is either your faith eats your fear, or your fear eats your faith. And so my prayer is that may your faith eat your fear. May your fear not stop you from getting to where you're supposed to get to. And so I'm praying according to Psalms 18:29. As you get into these rooms, may you know that you have the faith of God. May you know that you're supposed to be there, and may you push the right agenda. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. May God bless you. May God keep you. See you next week at 9:30 p.m. Remember to turn on the post notification button. Someone shared to me an idea that we should form a WhatsApp group of the people who would like to join whatever we are doing. And I'm thinking of doing that. So if you'd like to join the WhatsApp group, please reach out to the number 0794959894. Just text us, and then I'll send my guy your contacts. He'll add you in our WhatsApp group of a very few people, so that we can be having fruitful conversations as we network and build more capacity for the online audience. Otherwise, may God bless you. May God keep you. Now, let's keep on building capacity. Good to see you, Amos Onyango. Amos Onyango was a former personal assistant to PLO Lumumba. He's the guy who gave me access when I was in Form 3. And thank you so much, sir. I honor you. May God keep on blessing you. And you'll always become a man of value. And thank you so much for the many lives you've touched. May God bless you, tribe. And see you next week. Let's keep building. You can come back and watch this video. It will still be here. It will be saved. If you joined today, welcome again. Please go and watch the previous videos. Someone is asking for my M-Pesa number, 0794 959895. 0794 959895. That is my M-Pesa number. Get to check it out and let's keep on building. If you're here on our YouTube channel, please subscribe so that you can be receiving any form of notifications when you're going live. Next time, remember to invite a friend early as you can. Share the notes with your friend. I saw there's an amazing lady called Purity Naliaka. I saw her. She has shared on her Instagram. She's been writing so many notes since we began. And I'm sure people are learning and they're building capacity. So please invite your friends so that you don't learn alone. We are moving as a team. We are moving as a tribe. We are moving as a generation. If next time I challenge you to invite 30 people, will you do that? How many will invite 30 people? Whoever invites 30 people, we shall send you 1,000 Kenya shillings. Who will invite 30 people? And you come with your people and they say, by the way, you've been sent by charity. Or we've been sent by Omuga. Invite at least 30 people. You send them a poster on time. Tell them, as guys, please attend to go on Wednesday 9:30. Come and attend. If you have a friend who fears, public speaking, please send them the poster in advance. So join our WhatsApp group. Someone has sent me some cash. May God bless you, Maze. You guys are supporting what you're doing. So far we have 500. Allow me to say this, so that one day when we have 1 million here, it will also be a testimony. Two people have sent 300 and 200. So tukona punch. Thank you so much, Maze. Endeleni kutu support. And even as you sow to whatever you are doing, may men also sow to whatever you are doing. May God bless you. May you keep on building. May you keep on growing. And I pray that His favor shall shine upon us. And we shall not get tired. None of us shall give up. We shall be consistent. We shall study. And we shall build our muscles for the glory and honor of God. May God bless you. Maybe before I go, I would like to hear from you. What is the greatest pickup point that you've learned today? Just share with us. What is that one point that has struck you and you cannot forget? Oh, my team is reminding me something. As you share with us, I have an amazing book here called Sprout. This is one of the books that I wrote at first. I'll not be talking about this book. I'm tired of talking about it. I can't wait for my other books to come out next month. But these, you can buy Sprout if you don't have a copy. Really an amazing book. You can get Sprout, get to see what you've written, and I'm sure it will really, really, really impact you. It's only 500 Kenya shillings. It can be delivered where you are within 24 hours. You can order it through the same number, 0794 959895. Reach out to us if you like to order a copy. It's only 500 Kenya shillings. Apart from that, I have merchandise. I have a branding company. So if you like a sweatshirt or a t-shirt, maybe your church as an event, or you as a person, you like merchandise, we shall be doing merchandise for the 60 seconds of destiny. So if you like to buy it, we are a tribe. So you can invest in some merchandise for our tribe. So that when we meet in town, we know we are a tribe. So we'll be producing some t-shirts, some hoodies. Hoodies only go, sweatshirts only go for 2,300, hoodies are 2,500, and t-shirts go for 800 Kenya shillings. If you like a thermo flask, like this one, Walubengo, with a logo, either way for your brand or for our tribe, you can still purchase it. It only goes for 1,200. A good thermo flask for yourself to package yourself. Otherwise, may God bless you. Let me read some pickup points that guys have shared. Someone is saying, my WhatsApp number. I'll give the office WhatsApp number because we're in public. I don't know who is here, so allow me to give the office WhatsApp number, 0742166594. 0742166594. Sawa. Let me read a few pickup points and then we can lock. Ama, instead of writing the pickup point, record a video and send us. What was your pickup point? And then we shall record a good video and package it. May God bless you, man. Have a good night. Thank you.